Hi, I'm Angela. I'm a life coach and counselor, and welcome to Messages and Mottos. Like here, we're going to do this one today. The best time to start was, can't see it behind me, yesterday. Okay, that's a very interesting slogan. I think it's a motivational slogan. Like some slogans are like, this is kind of like who I am, or this is motivation, or this makes me feel better about myself. So there's a lot of slogans on, let's feel better about ourselves. And then there's some that are more like motivational, like what can I do to improve? And this is kind of one of those. This is definitely one of those slogans where it's, I need to do better kind of slogan. The best time to start was yesterday. Well, first of all, it's kind of an irrational slogan. I know I normally start with the positive. So, okay, let me start with the positive because I like to try and keep my format similar. Positive. The positive part is sometimes we need a kick in the pants. Yeah. And I know there's some things on my list that they stay on the list and I keep moving them and I keep moving them and I keep moving them and I keep moving them. And then I'm like, oh, wish I would have just done it. Wish I would have just done it the other day, because now I've got all these other things to do and I really don't want to do this anymore because I've moved it so many times. And really, yeah, you know what? The best time to have done that was yesterday because it just keeps adding up, right? So I think, that's really the kind of the message, the more positive message behind this slogan is, don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. That's another one which we can do another day. Well, actually, you know what? Why don't we combine the two? Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. I think that's more of a positive way to look at this slogan. I'm curious what you think. Do you think those are compatible? Put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear if you think those two slogans are kind of two birds of the same feather. Is that right? Colloquialism. And I think that one I can find more truth to. Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. First of all, I find that we don't know what tomorrow holds. And so we might be like, oh, I know I'll have lots of time tomorrow. And yet something could happen that you have, something comes up. And now, because you kind of procrastinated and didn't do what you could have done, now you have twice as much to do the next day. And then it becomes more stressful. So I think there is a lot of stress-saving advice in that slogan. Don't put off today what you can do tomorrow, because frankly, we don't know what the future holds. And it is a great idea to just, if you can, do it. And it's not overwhelming in your schedule. Like sometimes we have too much on our schedule and our plate to begin with, but that's a topic for practical psychology. We'll talk about that another time. Yeah. And the obviously downside of saying, well, certainly the first one that we're talking about, the best time to start was yesterday. It's negative, and it's kind of like, well, if I beat myself up enough, then I'll probably do it. It's like I'll whip myself into submission. Well, first of all, does that even work? Sometimes. Yep. That's why we do it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes we make ourselves feel so guilty and so bad about something that we finally do it. But we're miserable the whole time. We're miserable before, then we feel miserable when we do it, and then we still feel guilty because we didn't do it when we should have done it. And it just leads to like a whole bunch of stress in your body and in your mind because of all the rules you've got going on in your head, all these shoulds and woulds and coulds and musts. So I think that's the downside to that. The best time to start is yesterday. It's also like completely unrealistic because just like we can't know what's happening tomorrow, something might come up, we can't know ahead of time that today was the right day. And there's no such thing as yesterday. Like we're never in yesterday. Yesterday's always gone. There's no scheduling for yesterday. It's past. And so from like that linear thinking, which is kind of the way my brain works, it's kind of a useless thing to say, other than you're just trying to motivate yourself to do better next time. I think there's better ways to motivate yourself. I think acknowledging some of the values that you have, like, you know, I love living in the moment, or what other values might lead to procrastination? Well, perfectionism. I'm not sure I'm going to do a really good job, and I think I want to wait until I have a magical time. Someone said that to me once, and I'm like, oh, bing, light bulb. I totally love magical time. I'm so much more productive in magical time. And so I love to wait for magical time. And it's true. I do. Like, I do better videos. I'll do more of them when I'm kind of like in the mood and inspired. But I can't always schedule that to be congruent with my life schedule. Sometimes magical time does not come when I have time. And then I have clients and other things come up, or I've got to go do things and I'm gardening or whatever. And then there's no time to fit in magical time. So I have found I can be productive without magical time, even though kind of exists. It kind of does. We do have these moments where we're inspired, especially with creative projects like, videos, you know, where we're trying to be creative, or writing, artwork. Lots of times we need that inspiration. The truth is, as much as that we do better when we're in that bubble, it doesn't mean we can't do it when we're not in the bubble. So I think that's what's important. And finding healthy ways to motivate yourself rather than beating yourself up about the best time to start was yesterday. That whole nonsense. Yeah. You know what? Really quickly, I'm going to say this. Would you try to beat someone else up to get them to do something productive? You know, so why do you do it to yourself? Like, it's a double standard. Like, why is it that you think it's okay to be mean at all, whether it's to yourself or not? You know, so often we'd be like, well, I'd never say that to someone else, but yet we'll tell ourselves that. Well, you're still using those words. That's still language in your mind. You're still embracing that kind of information, thoughts. It's not healthy, and it's not good for you. And there's better ways to do it. So anywho, that's the 2 slogans today that we worked on. Is the best time to start was yesterday, or the more positive way to say it, don't put off today. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. I've heard it a couple different ways. So don't put it off if it's on your schedule and you have time. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I was going to end, but then I thought this good story. You know, there's been a couple times where my son, when he had this assignment, and he's like, oh yeah, I got lots of time, and I'll do it. Like, he blocked off, like, I'll do it this time, and then he didn't get it done that day. He goes, well, I'll do it the next day. And the next day came, and he was invited to go to do this fun activity with his friends, but now he had a deadline. He was so disappointed and frustrated, and school's not there, and life's not there. And I'm like, you know, if you hadn't put off, the best time to have done it was yesterday. So it's just a really simple story. I had it happen to me once when I was a kid, and I learned from it really quick. And I knew that I wanted to be open to, you know, if something were to come up, I wanted to make sure I didn't have so much on my plate that when the weekend came, I had to just do catch up instead of, you know, enjoying life and having a little bit of flexibility in my schedule. So yeah, I encourage you to find positive ways to think about it. Put some comments below and subscribe. And I think I'm saying all that way too much now. I am going to try to gauge how much I'm saying that in a video. All right. Thank you for watching.